me telling you to try go and subscribe on YouTube at VOP 90.3 FM, and of course our sister station at A Voice of the People TV, which is at VOP TV Live. Trust me, you want to be there and see all the interesting contents that we have for you, especially on several issues within the Nigerian polity. And of course, we do have some intellectual individuals in various fields of expertise who helps us analyze most of these issues that are worth talking about. Now, when we come on here to talk about issues in the Nigerian polity, it's not necessarily for talk's sake. It is the fact that hopefully most of these individuals who occupy most of the seats in politics or the political elites are listening. They get to know how the people feel, and possibly somehow they would do something. Even if they want to feel like they're nonchalant, they will definitely be propelled to do the right thing. The media is one of the avenues through which Nigerians can express themselves and talk about what they think about certain policies being made by, those who represent them in government. And it is also vital for them to be part of the process. And we here will bring the matter right here on this platform. Beyond that, we analyze it. We get to give you a different perspective to it, in-depth perspective to it. And of course, we get to hear what you had to say. The idea is that once you hear what exactly is going on, you respond to it. Possibly there'll be some kind of change. It's a collective participation in governance. All right. Now, it's a good evening, like I told you, and a lot actually transpired today. On the evening rush, on the hot topic, a lot took place. But before I start, I wanted to listen to a lawyer who was very vehement earlier on when the judges who were supposed to come to the court to give a ruling, possibly for 3 or 5 minutes, to give a ruling on either to stall the inauguration of President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu on May 29, or possibly to validate the fact that he actually won. Well, the judges were absent in court today, and most of the lawyers who were present representing their various political parties and their clients were disappointed, and they felt disrespected. They felt that the judges wasted their time. A date was slated, which is for Wednesday, and it happens to be that the judges did not respect that, and so they were so disappointed. I need you to listen to what the judge had to say before we now eventually comment on, of course, the prominent issues, which I feel some of us already know transpired today.
We were here on Wednesday. The court gave us Wednesday as a day to come for our ruling. And then we were given the same information that the court was attending a conference and that the ruling had been adjourned to today. So I take it that at the time they were adjourning to today, they already knew that they would be out of whatever conference they were going to have. So we're here, and they are giving us the same excuse of the court attending a conference. We don't think that that is a fair way to treat us. You see, this thing, everybody has rights. I think the impression that as litigants, as people who approach the court, we have no rights. We are absolutely at the mercy of the system. It's a very wrong one. Respect begets respect. You have to respect me as a litigant, then I will respect you as the judex. So if the court, what we see is that we have not been fairly treated. I have been in Abuja for how long now? Nobody has asked me about my hotel bills. I practice from Lagos. If he wasn't going to sit, he should have told me. He should have told me on Wednesday, I'll be back in my chambers in Lagos now. But he asked me to come back today, only to get the same excuse. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair. And as far as I'm concerned, we are, by the grace of God, going to do something about it. In the sense that I think we need to sue. We need to bring it before the court so that it will be examined. What we have law, the rights that we sought is to restrain this swearing in. So by the court not sitting, we've lost a great deal.
That's right.
So who is going to pay for that? If you came and gave a ruling that we don't have a right, it will be understandable. Now your seemingly staying away from the court makes me understand that we have a right, but for one reason or the other, you cannot find the courage to declare that right. So you are now trying to use absence from the court as a means of depriving me of that right. So I'm going to sue, you're going to pay. You will pay for it. You pay for it. You are going to tell me why you left the court. And we will fight it to Supreme Court. And maybe we will establish as a precedent that Nigerians ought not to be treated in this fashion.
That's right.
With all due respect to the learned judges, for whom I have the greatest respect. But like I said, this ruling, it will not take 2 minutes.
That's right.
It will not take 2 minutes to deliver the ruling and then get back to any conference that, is attending. So what I want to say, I have said it, I have written to all the security agencies, I have written to major embassies, I've written to the American embassy, I've written to the British embassy, I've written to the French embassy, German embassy, and I've warned that you cannot make the mistake of installing an unconstitutional president in Nigeria.
That's right.
It will have been better that you resolve this question that we brought before the court. We are not saying that the question must be resolved in our favor. We brought the question here to be resolved. We have a right to have the question resolved. Like I always say, hearing belongs to me, decision belongs to the court. You understand? So you cannot make the mistake of installing somebody unconstitutionally. It's an overthrow of the Constitution. That person, now if you read section 1, subsection 2 of the Constitution, it says, no person or group of persons shall be permitted to take control of the federal government or any part of it, take control of federation or any part of it, except in accordance with the Constitution. That section invests every Nigerian with authority to resist whoever is sworn in,
That's right. Yes.
contrary to the Constitution.
That's right.
Every Nigerian,
Yes.
in every station of life,
Yes.
wherever he is,
That's right.
that is an order from the Constitution to that person to resist whoever is sworn in unconstitutionally. So it must be that those who want to do this swearing in have conspired against democracy
That's right.
and want to overthrow it.
Yes.
The Constitution says, section 14, subsection 2A, that sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria.
That's right.
And they give consent to those who govern through the Constitution. So where you do not observe the Constitution, it means that you do not have the consent of the people to rule. The people have a right to say, we are not going to recognize you or acknowledge you. Yes. What is coming to Nigeria? Children, as far as I'm concerned.
Animals.
They are behaving like children. We all saw Shoneko here. Somebody went with a decree or word of mouth, made somebody president and commander-in-chief. A court, it took just one declaration from a court, and it was gone. It's the same thing that we are, the same thing that we are getting into.
All right, there you heard it. Precisely, these are one of the issues that we're considering today. On the hot topic, the Supreme Court gave its judgment. However, some lawyers were not, were not happy about that development, and of course, they felt disrespected. Whereby the ruling that was supposed to take place right from Wednesday concerning the fact that it was supposed to be 2 minutes to about 5 minutes did not hold sway. The judges were absent in court. And once the judges are absent in court, it means that the ruling cannot hold sway. And so whatever strong cases or backing they had could not actually take place. And of course, one of the lawyers, one of the counsels or representing one of the political parties was blowing hot and was angry about that development and said it was totally wrong, totally uncalled for. totally disrespectful, and that, the judges were going to pay. Now, another scenario is this: Taufik Akinwale, who is a member of the Oyo State Labour Party candidate in the 2023 governorship election, has disclosed recently that his party's presidential candidate, that is Peter Obi, if he had won this year's presidential election, Nigeria would have been in serious trouble. Now, this is basically where we need to understand when some comments are made and what premise that these comments are being made from. According to Mr. Akinwale, Obi's attitude shows how intolerant he is to his fellow countrymen who are Muslims. Now, this is a tribal allegation. On several occasions, when these comments come up, it had come up for the All Progressives political presidential candidate, who is now president-elect, to be inaugurated on May 29. Also, the same statement has come up for the People's Democratic Party presidential candidate as well. Some would say that this is not surprising coming for the Labour Party's presidential candidate. However, this statement is being made by a Labour Party representative in Oyo State who was vying for the governorship position within the party. So the question is, why? All right. Mr. Akinwale made this statement during an interview recently via a social media news platform, which was monitored by some news outlets. He blamed Peter Obi for the defection of several of the party's governorship candidates, mainly from the north, to other opposition parties. He went ahead to say that, okay, there are some words he used that is uncalled for, but he says that Peter Obi is a pretender. He also mentioned the fact that all the, two-faced persons in the world, he is not somebody that should be trusted with the leadership of this country. So he went ahead to say all manner of things, which I feel will be unethical to actually read out here as crudely, because it will be defamation. That is somebody's opinion. However, Mr. Akinwale did not hide his delight that Peter Obi did not win in the just concluded February 25 presidential elections. According to him, he said that Obi is a politician who has swapped politics for tribalism. Now, a couple of people may not know Peter Obi personally, but this person is a member of the Labour Party who vied for the governorship candidacy in Osun State precisely, and he made this statement. So one would wonder what would have made him make this kind of statement rather. All right, someone who ran on the governorship candidacy of the Oyo State of Oyo State Labour Party, representing Labour Party, and of course he went ahead to disclose a couple of discontent concerning the fact that he feels happy that the Labour Party candidate did not win this February 25 presidential elections. Also, we do know what transpired at the court today, where the Supreme Court ruled that the PDP's petition did not have the local standing, also mandated them to pay a fine of 2 million naira to the APC themselves, and they said that the PDP was a meddlesome interloper. It is not their business whatsoever on how the APC decides to run for its own primaries. Now, I have Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid, who will explain what transpired today. There have been two cases that went on today, all right? The court imposed 70 million naira fine as well on another a candidate who they considered his suit to be frivolous. 17 million naira on 3 litigants and their lawyer for filing a frivolous suit seeking to stop the inauguration of President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And Justice James Omotosho imposed a fine on a Praise Ilemona, a Pastor Paul Isaac Audu, and Dr. Anongu Moses, who jointly instituted the suit, praying for an order to halt the May 29 swearing-in of Bola Ahmed Tinubu as president-elect. Meanwhile, they said that the court mandated that the litigants are to jointly pay the president-elect a sum of 10 million naira and another 5 million naira to the All Progressives Congress, who were part of the 7 defendants in the suits. Now, we do know that just barely 24 hours, same transpired yesterday, where an appeal court in Abuja slammed 40 million naira fine on a former presidential candidate in the 2019 election, Chief Ambrose Albert Owuru. What the court actually put this to be is that their cases were frivolous and said that the judge held that the plaintiffs lacked the local standing to file the suit and that the court could not exercise jurisdiction to hear it because it relates to a presidential election. And also, concerning the Supreme Court's order earlier, it stated that the PDP was a busybody and a meddlesome interloper in the ways and manners it dabbled into APC's affairs unjustly. If you listen to the news this evening, I was able to have an interview with Barrister Liberace Shoma where he explained the fact that sometimes the lawyers do not advise their clients properly, and whereby when they get to the court, the technicality on the manner with which they filed the case works against them. Barrister Tunji, good evening and welcome to the Evening Rush.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Please, I need you to explain. We do know what transpired at the court today. In fact, there have been two cases. One of them, the court has slammed 10 million naira on the president-elect. That is, the three litigants are to pay 10 million naira to the president-elect and 5 million naira to the All Progressives Congress. Also, the Supreme Court judgment stated that the PDP is to pay 2 million naira to the All Progressives Congress. They stated that the PDP was a meddlesome interloper and it wasn't their business. Precisely, they were onlookers. And so the petition they filed, possibly it means that maybe they were ill-advised. What's your take on that?
Yeah, let me explain what that means. The amount slash on them, what you call fine. That's what we call cost in law. In other words, if you take me to court and the court finds that your case is not properly brought before the court or you lost the case, I am expected to be compensated in a way, and that is the kind of that is the money they are giving them now. But these days, in an attempt to punish lawyers who file those cases, before when that money is given, say you are a court is awarded against the social person, it means that it is not the lawyer that will pay; it is the litigant that will pay. But sometimes the court directly will make it clear that this cost is awarded against the lawyer himself. In other words, the lawyer will be the one to pay the cost, whatever amount it is. So it's a kind of punishment for a lawyer who did not do his homework before coming to court. So it's not unusual, it's normal. What we normally have before is that we have just peanuts being given to people, and that's why people are not being deterred. But if you start giving huge amounts as cost, maybe people will think twice before filing cases in court if they are not well assured of what they want to file.
All right. So the question now is this. Could it be that possibly the petition was not properly filed? Because when they went today, Nigerians were anticipating what the Supreme Court was going to do. In fact, they were really anticipating for the fact that, possibly the inauguration may be stalled on the double nomination issue. Then the Supreme Court comes with this. What precisely could it be? Could it be that their case weren't properly filed?
As a lawyer who is aware of what is going on, I am not expecting any order to stall inauguration today, because I know the matter has been decided at the High Court and has been tried by the Court of Appeal. What the court did today is what people call technicality. The case was not looked to on its merit. It was based on what people call technicalities. But sometimes what we call technicalities is part of law. It is part of the law. In other words, what the court said today was that the PDP who filed that case against the APC and its candidate are not qualified to do so. That's what they call locus standi. In other words, they don't have a sufficient interest under the law to bring that case before the court. So, because the law as it is today is that if you are challenging pre-election matter, you are challenging outcome of what we call pre-election matter here. We are talking about issue arising out of the primary of a party. In other words, the APC is conducting its primary, there are issues on it. PDP is conducting its own primary, there are issues on it. That is what we call pre-election matter or selection of candidates for the party. Any issue arising from there is what we call pre-election. So, and the law is clear that in pre-election matters, particularly section 285/14 of the Constitution says that only the party or only the political party or the aspirant who participated in that primary has the right to challenge any outcome of a primary. In other words, anything that you are not satisfied with in the primary, whether you are challenging any qualification of any party or you are saying somebody is disqualified and there's an issue on it, those who can challenge that outcome or that decision or take such matter to court are people are the political party themselves or those who participated in the primary. In fact, being a member of APC or PDP it does not give you a license to go to court and challenge the primary of your party. You must be a party in it. You must have participated in the primary. Otherwise, you won't have what we call local. So what the court is saying now is that PDP, this issue being an affair of APC, PDP has no right to go to court and challenge that decision. That does not mean the decision today does not mean the court has said the double nomination by the APC is good or it's bad.
Okay.
The court hasn't said that. Yeah, what the court did was that this case before me, I will not listen to it because it's not properly done. So it's thereby dismissed. So what it means is that as it is, thank God for the PDP. I think that the issue raised is also part of their petition at the tribunal, because that is the proper place to go. That's what the court is saying. That look, since you can't in this petition now, they can't say PDP is an interloper or middle interloper because they also participated in the election. So they will have the locals to challenge it. In other words, what they are trying to say, look, too, you see, when you want to challenge the election, there are grants for which you can challenge it. So you can go to court and say the person who was the clear winner of the election is not qualified or was not qualified at the time of the election to contest. So as it is now, you can go and challenge that one. But if it's the primary election and it's not your party, in other words, if somebody is not qualified, or let me say in Nigeria, it's been chosen or nominated as the candidate of a particular party, say APC, and a PDP has no right at that time to go to court and say disqualifying is not in Nigeria. The court will say he has no local standing. But if it's at the petition, the court will listen to them, and if they have good evidence, the court will grant it. So it's not all hope lost for PDP in terms of that issue. Okay. That can still be looked into at the tribunal itself, and unfortunately for them, it's part of their grants for disqualification for challenging the election of the what's it called, the president.
So, but does this mean now that the PDP cannot come again with that particular petition? Because right now this order was from the Supreme Court.
No, they can come again. They not like I said, the issue has not been decided. What was decided was the low cost. The merit has not been taken. The merit of the case does not look at whether or not the paper presented by the PDP to say this man is not qualified, is proper or is not proper, or whether the law they are arguing on they are actually correct to rely on that law. Because I think I not decided on that.
All right.
Because ordinarily talks about the issue of you don't for a court to have to entertain your case in court. That is what we call jurisdiction. The court must have jurisdiction. And you that is bringing the case to court as well, you must have what we call local standing. In other words, you must have an interest that is protected by law. So what the court is saying now is that you are not qualified to even bring this action to court. So the court is not specific, has not gone into the detail of whether or not the challenge by the PDP is right or is wrong. It's about locals alone. It's not about the fact that double nomination is now accepted.
Now,
no.
All right, Barrister Tunji, I have a message from WhatsApp where this person is asking, Remy from Akoka is asking, I should ask you, why didn't Machina get justice against Ahmed Nawan since he participated in the APC primary, based on the logic that you're putting across here?
Why didn't he get justice?
Why he says, why didn't Ahmed, that is, why didn't Machina get justice?
He didn't get justice because the court believed that his case was not properly conducted. Or he didn't do the right thing. Remember that case was thrown out again based on technicality. They said the lawyer that filed the case did not use the right process.
The process, okay. So it could, because I know that there are several processes.
Instead of coming by way of needs of summons, he came by way of original summons. And because of that, they say it's not proper. So they did not even look at the merits of the case as well. It was based on technicality and was thrown out.
Wow.
So that has nothing to do with locus. This case is about locus. You don't have the local standing. That one, they didn't say he does not have the local standing. They say he has the local standing. But the lawyer started the case, commenced the action by wrong, what's it called? In a wrong manner. Not prescribed by law, according to them. Even though I disagree with them as well.
You disagree with them? Why do you disagree with them?
I disagree. I disagree because I know there's what we call practice procedure for election matter, which says you can only commit actions by way of you can only commence a pre-election matter by way of originating summons. And they are now saying simply because he said they stance on the use of adjective by the lawyer. Say fraudulently, my submission was fraudulently done. That fraudulently that is mentioned is what they said. Having mentioned that fraudulent, he must call evidence to prove it. And if you go by way of originating summons, you don't call evidence in that one. The only way you can call evidence is when you file by writ of summons. So to me, and the law that says for you to come to pre-election matter, to challenge a pre-election matter, you must come by way of by way of originating summons. So I am not satisfied by what they say. They are the final. So whatever they say is correct.
All right. Thank you very much, Barrister Tunji. I do appreciate you explaining things better or in a legal perspective. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Now, we are still on the evening rush, and today, practically, there's a lot taking place. The inauguration is already commencing. There's a lot of, convergence, entertainment, the diplomats, international diplomats representing their various nations who already are in Nigeria at the moment for May 29. It's going to be a huge deal. In fact, the U.S. has already sent its delegation, a very strong delegation as well. It actually tells that there's going to be a good working relationship between the incoming administration and the United States with the caliber of the delegation that was sent to participate at the inauguration on Monday. Now, apparently, too, Samuel Otam on Friday, while he was inaugurating, that is today, while he was inaugurating the headquarters of the Benue State Community Volunteer Guards in Makurdi, he said that the president told us he is retiring to tend to his cattle. Is it because he is returning to be a header that he failed to deal decisively with herdsmen? That was unfair to Nigerians. So he went further to say that he berated the outgoing president, Muhammadu Buhari, for refusing to disarm armed Fulani herdsmen who have masterminded different killings in the country. Otam, who spoke earlier today during the inauguration, stated that it was important that the president should have shown a sense of understanding and precise attitude in dealing with the cattle header and the farmer header crisis, especially in Benue State. Now, he said the outgoing governor, who has always been a strong critic of President Muhammadu Buhari for his lackluster administration, especially in addressing the wholesome killings of Benue State people by his kinsmen, said that in 2015 to 2023 would be remembered as the worst in the history of Nigeria under the supervision of President Muhammadu Buhari. Although he said Buhari has apologized to Nigerians for his failures, the governor noted that he must also be told that he failed woefully. Nigerians were feeling the impact of that failure because they were all suffering. He also talked about the exchange rate, which was at the time and what it was today, that is exchange rate in 2015 and what it is today. He also said to Nigerians that they should do a simple comparison and that they will realize how bad it has been under this government and how Nigeria has been taken several years backwards by this administration. He also emphasized on corruption, which he said is so endemic in the government, yet people who steal chicken are thrown into prison, but people in government are busy stealing the wealth of the people and they're working free. He went ahead to say that in as much as he accepts the president's apology, he must be told that he did not do well, he did not do right by Nigerians, and that his failure is so apparent that nothing can redeem it. He went further to recall how he was denied several accruals because of his insistence on equity, fairness, and justice, and vowed he would continue to speak out against injustice in the country. That's one of the topics that we're looking at today on the hot topic this evening on the Evening Rush. It's quite a mixed feeling on how the scenario has transpired today. There was anticipation. Nigerians were looking ahead for the hearing that will commence today. Possibly some people believed that there would be possibly an injunction for the inauguration not to take place on the double nomination. Hey, the hearing is still on at the Election Petition Tribunal. The case is not ended yet. The judges, so long as they have their rights, they have all their evidence to prove at the Election Petition Tribunal. The case still continues. It is just that the Supreme Court gave its order today to say that the PDP had no local standing for the petition they filed to invalidate the nomination of Kashim Shettima, whereby the inauguration for May 29 will not hold. And also, I told you earlier that the court also imposed a 70 million naira fine on litigants and the lawyers seeking to stop Tinubu's inauguration on May 29. Also, as well, the Supreme Court dismissed the PDP against Bola Ahmed Tinubu's suit, rather, and Shettima saying that he did not have the water. He considered the PDP a meddlesome interloper. Of course, Monday has been declared to be a public holiday for the inauguration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the 16th president, democratically elected president of Nigeria. It's a huge deal. There's been a huge entertainment. We could see a lot of performance that took place, whereby the celebration is on. And those who supported the president are joyous and happy that is taking place, despite a lot of back and forth concerning, his winning, or the APC winning the February 25 presidential election, as the case at the petition tribunal continues. Now, basically, again, I told you earlier, whereby we heard a particular individual within the Labour Party representing Oyo State. He was a governorship candidate, representing Oyo State, where he talked about the fact that he is happy and glad that the Labour Party presidential candidate did not win the February 25 elections. According to him, he literally described Peter Obi as someone who is intolerant of Northerners, and from the perspective he's coming from, that is him, possibly he has a close observation of the presidential candidate of the Labour Party. So, but the irony here is the fact that he is a member of the Labour Party. He was gunning to become the governor in Oyo State under the flagship of the Labour Party. So how come you are making such a statement against your principle? I mean, it's worrisome when you hear things like this. It's worrisome, which brings the speculation back to the fact that there are individuals being paid to make the party seem ungoverned, to make the party seem like they're not together, or they do not have the same voice in pursuing their case or declaring that they won the elections on February 25. So I want to know what your take is on the hot topic that we're talking about this evening. It's quite a lot. I know, like I told you, there are mixed feelings, but hey, it is what it is. It is important for us to take it as it is. And let's hope that incoming administration's economic strategy would work in favor of everyone. And possibly there'll be a difference from his administration and the outgoing administration. Also, a group has they call themselves they're a pro-democracy group who call themselves the Natives, and they've issued a warning today against intended interruption of the swearing-in ceremony of the president-elect Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu on May 29. They went ahead to say that Nigeria is not a banana republic where such a disruption should happen, and the group said it planned to commence a vigil around the venue of the swearing-in until Tinubu is sworn in. The group also warned, and this warning was issued a few hours ago after the police authorities cautioned against disrupting activities during the presidential inauguration at the Eagle Square. And like I told you, there is top security gear to ensure that the inauguration works and goes on seamlessly. The military high command and other security agencies have implemented security measures at the FCT by deploying troops to all entry and exit points into Abuja. They've deployed gun trucks, armored personnel carriers, patrol vehicles have been placed along major routes within Abuja. So these are the hot topics of this evening, and I want to know what your take is. The number to call is 0700 903 903 903. 0700 903 903 903. Also, the WhatsApp number is 0700 903 9039. 0700 903 9039. And I told you that we're currently streaming on YouTube, so all you need to do is go on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Voice of the People 90.3 FM. All right, of course, we have our sister station too at Voice of the People TV. That is at VOP TV Live. That, of course, is the channel right in there. So send your messages on WhatsApp 0700 903 9039. Also on the number to call in order for you to tell us what you think about the hot topic this evening is 0700 903 903 903. That is the number to call. Hello, good evening. Hello. All right. I can't hear you, but I've picked. Maybe you do not know that you're already live on air. 0700 903 903 903. That is the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. And you can also send your WhatsApp messages to 0700 903 9039. I already have some messages. Good evening, Esther. Can we just stop talking about Buhari? And let's pray for a miracle, because where we are now in this nation, it's only a miracle that will save this country from total collapse. Buhari and co have done their worst. Will the people also indirectly or directly played a role in it? Let us now pray for a miracle, because the heart of the king is in the hands of God. So there's nothing God cannot do. Those of us that survive the hell under this administration should be grateful to God. I will advise anyone that is gearing up or planning to join any group to protest against the inauguration on Monday to think twice and sit at home. Protest on Monday against the inauguration will not be profitable. And this is from Adegboyega Adedeji. Thank you, Adegboyega, for that particular comment. Hello, good evening. Hello. Hello. Okay, we do not know what's going on, but I don't know if it's the network or if it's whoever that's calling. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. What's your name?
Okay, this is Remy from Akoka.
Remy, what happened?
I'm fine. I think the network is kind of misbehaving here.
All right, Remy, please go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry, I want to ask. Which of the days are we with the president-elect, the government-elect, going to be swearing? Is it 29th or June 12th? Which of the days?
No, June 12th is Democracy Day. It's now Democracy Day.
Okay.
Yes.
Then 29th.
It's Inauguration Day, the swearing-in ceremony.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, back to the issue on the ground. I'm not sure the judiciary is interested in getting justice. I think all they care about is looking for technicality under the guise of, giving reasons for their stand. Because look at the case of Machina, for example.
Okay.
I personally asked the question because I also knew the accused was.
Yeah, but you heard what the legal practitioner said.
And I'm glad he also said he disagreed with the Supreme Court. I think he said that too, have you?
He said he's not happy with how it went. He said they did not look at the case. What they talked about was the manner with which the case was presented, or they didn't come through the right summon.
Exactly, which simply means they don't care about justice. All they care about, they look for things around the loopholes, probably to just pick a side. And we choose to believe the court is the last hope of the common man. But the way things are, especially under this, the 8 years of this government, they've shown us that they cannot things the way they want it, whichever way. I'm not going to raise my hope, but we just need to test the system. Those who are in court should follow up the case, and let's see how it's going to end. Whether they're going to look for loopholes as well, the locusts as they claimed. As it is now, we all probably knew the meaning of 25% getting in Abuja before. But after this election, we are now waiting for the court to now interpret it for us. What we initially knew before the election, we all knew the meaning of having 25% in FCT. Then all of a sudden, when the election came, we now started looking for another meaning through the court, which is quite kind of absurd. We all knew the meaning. Virtually everybody spoke about it before the election on TV stations and radio stations. But how come we are now looking for the meaning now? That is, by the way, the native group of the thing. I think that group is a section of APC because the guy leading that group, the group is an APC member. I've seen him in the different what is it called? For a different forum organized by APC. During their primary, I saw him; he was there. So it's an extension of APC. They are the one probably making the atmosphere tense. They are the one claiming people who want to invade their this. You can see what they are trying to do. They want to make the atmosphere kind of tense. create what isn't there. But trying to accuse, they're trying to preempt what isn't there. So they should go ahead and do whatever they want. The day will come, it will be sunny, but let's just follow the case in court and see what will become of it in the end. Thank you and have a great evening.
Thank you, Remy, for your call this evening. I do appreciate it. 0700 903 903 903. That is the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. Also, the WhatsApp number to send a message to is 0700 903 9039. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
Hello, Mary. How are you?
This is not Mary. This is Esther. Good evening.
Esther. Okay. God bless you.
Thank you. Name and location, please.
My name is Ifoma. I'm calling from Ejibo.
All right, Ifoma, please go ahead.
We thank God last year, 4 years ago, we were able to see this. For another 4 years, we are still alive. So we give God the glory. So what will happen is that this government that is coming is still an offshoot of the one that is going. There's nothing new. Because he's going to carry on from where his master stopped. Me, I'm not expectant. All I know is that God, at his own appointed time, he will raise a man after his own heart. So we are not praying for the downfall of anybody. So I was listening to you when you say one man was talking against it, it was a governorship aspirant.
Yes, within Labour Party for Oyo State.
Because he's an anti-party man. You look at it and he's speaking out, vomiting all those things out of his mouth. They should just ignore him. So everything that is happening today, God is interested in this land. Our own is to pray for peace, our own is to pray for harmony. Let the will of God be done.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for calling, okay? So still on the hot topic this evening, we have where the Vice President-elect Kashim Shettima has said that the incoming administration led by Bola Ahmed Tinubu and him, they will not have a rosy starting point. The former governor of Borno State, who is now the Vice President-elect to become the Vice President officially on Monday, noted that the oil subsidy had become an albatross around their necks. He stated that the multiple exchange rate system was a drain on the national economy and had created a dual economic system. Shettima made this assertion in the address he delivered today at the 2023 Presidential Inauguration Public Lecture at the National Mosque in Abuja. He also noted that the incoming administration did not have the luxury of time as the challenges facing the nation were humongous. So he went further to say that for power and, of course, the economy, it was important for them to re-strategize. Now, the beginning is not going to be rosy considering the fact that Nigerians are highly expectant of the miracle or the magic wand they're going to swipe to make sure that things get better. But he's saying that he is not promising that it's going to be a rosy start. They do not have a certificate or a degree on how they're going to go about it, but that they would try as much as possible to do the needful. He mentioned that power, that is electricity. Okay, let me read a quote. He said, "We are here, we are leaders, not because of our intellect. Neither Kashim Shettima nor Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu holds any PhD degree. We are what we are, not because of our physical powers. We are what we are, not because of our political sagacity. There are better politicians." That's what he said. So according to him, he went, power to us will be a humbling experience. That is the fact that they're being conferred as the president and vice president on May 29. He went ahead to say, power to us will be a humbling experience. It's an opportunity to serve God and humanity. And whether we accept it or not, we're going to spend more years of our lives outside power than in power. So he went ahead to eulogize Bola Ahmed Tinubu by saying, "My principal is a pure-minded leader who would do justice to all Nigerians, irrespective of differences in political affiliations, religious persuasions, tribal or sectional backgrounds." He went ahead to say, "We are all united by a common heritage of poverty, destitution and insecurity." And he said, this is the time for all of us to coalesce into a single force. Now, one of the primates has actually disclosed that Nigerians should put aside the differences and work together, that it was important for Nigerians to put aside the differences and work together with the president-elect and vice president-elect for Nigeria to move forward. He said that that was the only way Nigeria can move ahead. He mentioned that statement because of the technocrats and diplomats that were going to be attending, or rather that will be part of the inauguration process on Monday. He mentioned that people from all over the world of high caliber are coming to be part of the inauguration process on Monday, whereby some persons are going about and saying that if they're disputing the win of Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his vice, that rather than them coming to work together with him, they're busy in court looking for something that is not there, saying that their mandates were stolen, when evidently with what is on ground and the results that were put in, that they did not win. That rather than them coming together to work with the president-elect and the vice for us to move the nation forward, they're busy possibly wasting their money at the court. Now, of course, this Labour Party candidate who was or your governorship candidate, Akinwale, made a statement why he left the Labour Party, because according to him, it is more hopeless than the APC. That's basically what he said. And we do know that he's a former chieftain of the Labour Party and who was the governorship candidate in Oyo State. Possibly maybe because he had left, that's why he made such a statement, because at the time he ran under the platform of the Labour Party. And some persons have asked questions. What if he won under the Labour Party in Oyo State? Would he be making this statement? Would he say what he's saying about the principle of the Labour Party, whereby he used religious and ethnic sentiments to describe one of the reasons why he left the Labour Party? He actually said quite a lot, which I don't think is proper for me to read out here. Again, these are the conversations we're talking about in the hot topic this evening. I played you a lawyer who was vehemently not happy by feeling disrespected, whereby the judges didn't come for the ruling today. And it was supposed to be a 2 minutes or about 5 minutes ruling, but they didn't come. And he said it was wrong for them to have done that, left them at the court, no respect, no information. He talked about the fact that he is coming all the way from Lagos and that, the judges did not respect them by not attending the court. They were absent. And it was a very important ruling that was supposed to take place today concerning the duo of Kashim Shettima and Bola Ahmed Tinubu, if they are, validly meant to be inaugurated on May 29, and that the judges were absent, that it was wrong, it wasn't called for, and it's not meant to be so. The ruling was even meant to, they were there since Wednesday, thereabout. So the lawyer was vehement, very angry. I actually played the audio right here when I started off the program. Also, we have the fact that a fine of 70 million naira has been slammed on 3 litigants and their lawyer for saying that May 29 inauguration should not hold. And of course, the judges were so angry with the fact that these were cases that they considered to have no local standing, that was frivolous and should not have been brought to the court in the first place. And so they were asked to pay that fine. The number to call 0700 903 903 903. 0700 903 903 903. That is the number to call. And of course, the WhatsApp number is 0700 903 9039. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Name and location, please.
Okay, my name is Jude.
Okay, Jude.
Jude. I'm calling from Ejibo.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, for the headlines you read, I want to talk about the Oyo State governorship candidate.
Okay.
The problem of the politicians is that when they are in a particular place and they didn't vote them, they begin to fight and they find faults, looking for who made them not to succeed. And these are the people that we are having the problem in Nigeria today. These ones don't have the people at heart. They only have one thing, which is their personal interest. And if they could not achieve that, they'll migrate. If you look at it, now the man we're talking about now is also no more in Labour Party. For him, he has left, and in order to be able to win the heart of the ones who paid them, in order to win their heart, he has already...
Hello, are you distracted? Okay, 0700 903 903 903. That is the number to call, 0700 903 903 903. So I have some messages right here on YouTube. Let's start off with fear. Okay. Nigeria have more than 10 million churches and they're still telling people to pray for Nigeria. Hello. Fear God said, I beg, I don't tire for Nigeria because of wicked people. He went ahead to okay. Thank you very much, Fear God, for that. Then for Lashade Olarinoye says, how can he win under Labour Party? Why is it difficult for people to believe that Peter Obi did not win this election? Have they forgotten that PDP, Labour Party, and NNPP share their votes? Why can't they work together to win? All right, that's what Folashade Olarinoye said. Okay, the number to call is 0700 903 903 903. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Kenneth, calling from Izumu.
All right, go ahead, please.
From the angle of the petition against the tribunal, so I just look the lawyers, they get conference meeting because maybe those people that are going to swear in, maybe because of all of them know their sense. That's why they did not take the judgment. Because if some of the lawyers are serious in this matter, they're supposed to go straight to this point before the conference. That conference, what are going to get to that for that conference? That my views from that place. There's Nigeria is one person that's holding so, but I'm not understanding Nigeria now. One person can determine with a conference why there's an important thing in the court. It doesn't sound somehow. Please, let's look about that conference. What thing are they going to do at that conference is not important to judge this moment. Whether people of the PDP or LFO, let them judge it. Let us come on mind from that particular issue. Before the swearing in. From that swearing in, people are not angry. People are angry.
Okay.
Not everybody. Even myself, I'm not happy. The swearing is supposed to be everybody enjoying with that swearing in. Based on final judgment. Now judgment is on the court while they are swearing in. It doesn't make sense. Everybody will be somehow this thing that not be even myself. I cannot move out that day. Once I'm giving everybody should calm. I'm not a stubborn person, but let everybody calm.
All right. Thank you.
Let's believe on judge.
Okay.
Finally, they must judge. That must be judged.
All right.
Good night.
Okay. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. The hot topic this evening is the fact that a former Labour Party governorship candidate of Oyo State has disclosed that it would have been better, or rather, he preferred the fact that Peter Obi did not win the February 25 presidential election. According to him, he said Nigeria would have been in trouble. We also have a fine of 70 million naira that was slammed on 3 litigants and their lawyer for writing to the court to stop the inauguration proceedings on May 29 for swearing in of Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Kashim Shettima. Also, the Supreme Court ruled earlier today that the PDP had no local standing in their file to say that Kashim Shettima was, ran on a double nomination, literally considering them or calling them an interloper, meddlesome interloper, and rather they were supposed to be onlookers. It was none of their business whatever transpired within the All Progressives Congress. They even asked them to pay a fine. And of course, a lot of Nigerians reacted to that. They were actually surprised. They didn't expect that to come from the Supreme Court. Okay, so of course, and then we also have Samuel Otem responding to the fact that the President Muhammadu Buhari, who is leaving the country and refused to listen to the pleas and the cries of Benue people while the headers, or rather, yes, the headers came and lynched and killed and plumaged the farmlands of a lot of Benue residents. These are the issues whereby he talked about the fact that he has actually forgiven President Muhammadu Buhari, but it's beyond forgiveness. He talked about the fact that the president has failed in so many ways, especially in security, economy, and even corruption. These are the hot topics of this evening on the Evening Rush. What's your take? Hello, good evening. Hello? Hello, good evening. Hello? Hello? Okay. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. You can also send a WhatsApp message to 0700 903-9039. Okay, so I have messages already on WhatsApp. Let me start with this. Evening, Esther. For 8 years, Buhari appointed, incompetent, lack of capacity as ministers. Even him as petroleum minister failed. He has successfully put more Nigerians into multidimensional poverty. He has divided Nigerians on ethnic and religious grounds, high insecurity and killings. When we are not at war, he should be charged by the World Court for, no education, no good for no road, no agriculture, no traveling by road. 8 years, no refinery, the highest jackpot of people, the most traveled president in the world, and also for health grounds. He should be prepared when he steps out. He should come and account for his stewardship. Unfortunately, they are handing over to the same administration, rather the same platform, or the All Progressives Congress. Good evening, Esther. I advise Nigerians to stop talk about Nigeria's judiciary and Buhari because APC has succeeded in forcing themselves on Nigerians. Let all of us survive, or let all of us. Okay, I don't really understand this message. Please, when you send WhatsApp messages, properly look at what you're typing so I can read it, and then everyone can know the meaning of what you're typing. Is Esther, good evening, please. Okay, thank you very much. God bless you. All right. Good scripture statement from Shetima, the vice president. We expect it to be put in action for all and sundry to enjoy the dividends of democracy. Adegboyega Adedeji, thank you so much. Esther, good evening. Look, let me tell you here, we are the problems of ourselves. When the hope of the common man is under the influence of some few people in this country, imagine the court not showing up today. What is the meaning of all these? God will render to every man according to his deeds. Time will tell. Nigerians are watching. Jude from Lagos. Thank you, Jude, for your message. I also have evening, Esther. Why is it that everybody that talks against Obi or Labour Party are paid to do so? These LUP people, now what for them? You didn't write your name. You don't like writing your name. Why? What's your name? Say your name now. All right. Okay. Good evening, Esther. Well done for your job. Thank you. Kashim Shetima asked that we should work together, which is very good. But the Bible asks, can two work together unless they agree? So my own question to Kashim is, have the people agreed on their leadership? God will soon visit them. Thanks, Sydney from Ijibo. Thank you, Sydney. Please keep sending your messages. 0700 903 903 903. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. Also, WhatsApp message, or rather WhatsApp number to send your WhatsApp message to is 0700 903 9039. Hello, good evening. Hello. 0700 903 903 903. That is the number to call. All right, 0700 903 903 903. Somebody actually sent a message and asked that why is it that if anyone says anything wrong or that doesn't seem to be, inclined positively towards the Labour Party supporters, it always feels like maybe the person is not saying the right thing. Hello, good evening. All right, Obi, how is the catch this evening?
How are you today, my sister?
All right, I'm fine. Thank you. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, for the Labour Party gubernatorial candidate, I think that second person is taking too far. These are political jobbers. They have started to align now to the winning party. We know their antecedent, we know their pattern. That is not that everybody should not overlook that man. What you're saying is not important. It's too late.
All right.
Too late to cry over. Yeah, and for the judges that didn't come to court, who's afraid of judgment of 25%? Is somebody afraid? Because you can't tell me they absconded on Wednesday and today again. They absconded. So something must be wrong. So that 25% is a very important case to wait. So since he's still in the tribunal, let us wait for that.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hello, good evening. Hello. Wow.
Hello.
Please turn down the audio of your radio, please. 0700 903 903 903. That is the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. 0700 903 903 903. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Name and location, please.
This is Ezekiel from Ikeja.
This is who?
Ezekiel.
Okay,
Calling
Ezekiel.
from Ikeja.
How is the Ikeja this evening?
Yeah, everything is fine.
All right.
Work.
Work is okay. Thank you. Please go ahead.
Yeah. You see, we have lost hope in judiciary system. Because why I say so is that because I believe that judiciary is a place of a common man can get justice. But right now they have failed us. You see that this matter is in court and you are giving order to swear to go in. Nobody is happy. Nobody in this country that will tell you that is happy. We are not happy what is happening in this country. We are not happy.
All right.
They should stop this inauguration and face the judgment. Then after the judgment,
Oh, please call back. Oh no, please call back. All right. Call back. We lost that connection. Tony Chukwudi. Surely, Esther, you will not say that I use any abusive, insulting words in my messages on this YouTube, but you don't read my messages. That is all. Tony, I read messages. I just read the ones that I feel is NTBB. I don't read the ones that I consider to be NTBB or that is NTBB. But I just read some messages now, and I don't think you sent any message earlier. Otherwise, I would have read it. This is the first message you're sending here this evening that I can read. All right. But however, thank you so much. Stephen Uchenna Oduinyi says only God will deliver Nigeria from the hand of the system. And of course, Tony Chukwudi says, good evening, Esther. I hope you had a great day. I'm just joining in. Okay, that was your comment. All right. I'm sorry. But you didn't really say anything in respect to the conversation we were talking about right now. All right. So we have someone, Olushola, who says, I think this Labour Party guy is one of Akwapa's factional members of the Labour Party. Of course, what do you expect from his comments? Okay. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Name and location, please.
My name is
Your name is?
Amobi. I'm calling from Lagos Island.
All right, Amobi, go ahead, please.
About the election.
Hello?
Hello?
Okay. You said what?
Let them swear Tinubu in. We don't argue stuff. Let them swear in. Maybe all the supporters of APC, we see them, all of them, we don't see that for this country. No one way they Japan, they go here. All of us stay here. We go there together. We know how we will take rulers.
All right, thank you. Hello, good evening. Hello? All right, 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. I have Greenwich from Spot City who says, someone said, has people accepted them as their leaders? My answer to that person is, don't accept. After 4 years and after additional 4 years, those people who are yet to accept them can accept the next leaders, or better still, go and form your own government in your preferred country. They can move to Benin or Togo. Libya is also available to go. And that's Greenwich from Spot City. Okay, so keep sending in your messages, 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to actually call. A WhatsApp number is 0700 903 903 9. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Yes.
I'm good. Name and location, please.
My name is Daniel, calling from Mafolo.
All right. How is Mafolo Koshiri this evening?
Yeah, we are fine there.
All right. Go ahead then.
Yeah, actually, the court has done their best.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever you take to the Supreme Court, what will you do? When they ask Atiku, what of Supreme Court judge against you? We say he will only take it to God. So what happened today? We don't have any other place to go than to take it to God. I wish our outgoing president the best.
But every one of us should realize that when people, group of people, allow you to rule them, you should not take them for granted. He's not the only person in Nigeria, but they choose him. His conscience. Hello?
I can hear you. I can hear you. Go ahead, please.
His conscience will tell him whether he's true worship, whether he handle it well, the way he should. So we wish him the best. Even the incoming ones, we wish them the best. Thank you.
Nine zero three nine 0700 903 9039. That's the number to send your messages to, and you can call on 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 903. Now, let me intimate you that President Muhammadu Buhari earlier today, right, took President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu on a tour of the presidential villa, right? He took him around the seat of power to familiarize the incoming president with workings of the State House, from where he would preside over the affairs of Nigeria. Now, both leaders were seen taking a walk around the villa vicinity again after the Jumat prayers at the mosque within the premises. Now, you do know that Kashim Shettima on Thursday conducted around the VP wing of the villa by the outgoing Vice President Yemi Oshibajo on a familiarization tour. And of course, Aisha Buhari did the same as well with First Lady to be Oluremi Tinubu. Of course, by Monday, she'll become the First Lady of Nigeria. So Aisha Buhari took around the Aso Villa, gave her a tour of everywhere, the kitchen and all the necessary places that, you know, she's supposed to familiarize herself with. And so while the doors stopped briefly at the press gallery, where reporters were covering the State House usually converged, there was an adjoining space to the council chambers of the State House. These two leaders stood for a couple of minutes listening to their guide, Kazaure. And of course, they, however, did not speak to newsmen. The idea is that barely 24 hours after the president conferred upon Tinubu the national honor of Grand Commander of the Federal Republic and Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger on Vice President-elect Kashim Shettima at the State House, both leaders exchanged documents ahead of the official handover of power on May 29, 2023. Celebrations already in top gear. Top dignitaries and diplomats already in place as, they all come in for the inauguration on Monday. In fact, I'm sure the airport's already full with a lot of them coming in to be part of the inauguration. Abuja is going to be a place where a lot of political stalwarts, but international diplomats will be attending to be part of the inauguration on May 29. Supporters of the All Progressives Congress too will be there to show their support. A lot of entertainment and dance and win and all of that is already in top gear. While, of course, those at the opposition party continue with their cases at the Election Petition Tribunal. Now, with the development that transpired today, I would say that some opposition members are not happy with it, and it almost feels like the light or the hope is not really as strong as it used to be. But don't worry, be patient. Let's see if the cases, if the petition from the opposition party is as strong and they went through it in the right process, because we don't want the Machina case where the case wasn't brought in through the right process. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Ego. I'm calling from Ajao, Lagos.
All right, Ego Money, good evening. How are you? Please go ahead.
I'm fine. All I have to say about this, our incoming president, do everything first, the president and the vice on us.
Mm-hmm.
So my prayers to everybody and my fellow Nigerians is that God will touch that of our president to be a servant to this country.
Okay.
Whatever mission they have, I believe there's a God in heaven. And if we can pray, he can answer. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that particular call. Thank you. Now, we do know that today 2 Imo monarchs were killed, and a coalition is asking for a state of emergency to be declared in Imo State. Now, the worst part is that these monarchs were in the car, they were driving, they were shot, and then these assailants or these unknown gunmen were not enough. It was not enough that they had shot them, they actually burnt them. They burnt the vehicle and burnt the body. Also, at a drinking joint as well, a young man was macheted. In fact, they shot him, macheted, and beheaded him. The killings have become so bad, especially in Imo State, along Mbidi, Olu, Okigwe, Owerri, Titi. Now, this convergence, a coalition of true governance, they've condemned the killing of the traditional ruler of Osuobodo in Oguta local government area of Imo State, Eze Victor Ijoma, and the traditional prime minister of Igbele in the same local government area. Now, the group, through a statement today, said the assassination of the monarchs is an appalling act of violence. Odenibo said the declaration for a state of emergency in Imo State was necessary to ensure the swift deployment of security forces and the implementation of measures to prevent further loss of lives and property. So he spoke further to say they're urging the government to launch a thorough investigation into the killing of the traditional ruler in Oguta with the aim of identifying and bringing the perpetrators to justice. Imo State has been one hotbed where nobody knows what is going on. You just hear that unknown gunmen go, pick up people, kill them, machete for no reason. Nobody understands what exactly is going on. The insecurity in Imo State has become so prevalent. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Name and location, please.
My name is Henry from Ikeja.
All right, Henry, go ahead.
And I've listened to, I usually listen to your station
Thank
evening
you.
like this, and I hear some of the comments people pass.
Mm.
My own assumption is this. Since the day of Babangida, this country has not gone well since he took the IMF loan. We should start from that place before we start apportion to anybody. But my take now this evening is, why can't we Nigeria stop apportion blame to any leader? And we should go to the last 3 books of Moses in the Bible, where God, in his anger, scattered the Israelites all over the countries around them. And when they realized their mistakes, they came back to God, and God will restore them back, and they are where they are today. So if we can go to God in prayer, He is able and just to answer our prayer and restore Nigeria back to where Nigeria is supposed to be, rather than to be a portion blame. Let me tell you this. If it is Obi that won, or Atiku, or Kwakaso, we will see a portion blame to them. So we should go back to God. See, what the sin God hates most is a shedding of blood. And that is why He sent Jesus Christ to the world to redeem us from our sins. Instead of accepting Jesus Christ, we started killing every day, and God hates shedding blood. So we should go back to God in prayer and do the needful, and He will look at us and make this country to be where we're supposed to be. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your call. 0700 903 903 903. This is the hot topic on the evening rush this Friday evening. Quite a lot transpired today, despite the anticipation and excitement of the ruling supposed hearing that would have proceeded today on the double nomination of Kashim Shettima. Some opposition political party supporters are not happy with it, but the Supreme Court has actually given a judgment. Now, there was also a 2 million naira fine on the People's Democratic Party, for which the court considered to be that it wasn't the PDP's business. They consider them to be a meddlesome interloper. We also have 3 litigants and a lawyer who were fined 17 million naira to pay Bola Ahmed Tinubu 10 million naira and the APC 5 million naira for the fact that their case was frivolous and they had no local standing or either any basis for them to truncate the inauguration of May 29. That's another case. We also have a particular former Labour Party member who ran for the governorship position in Oyo State. declaring that thank God Peter Obi did not win the February 25 elections, otherwise Nigeria would have been in trouble. He gave his own personal statement, the reason why he feels that it was okay that Tinubu won rather than Peter Obi. And of course, we've heard your calls and comments based on that. We also heard Samuel Otom talking about the complete failure of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration and his dismissal of his body language, which seemed dismissal to the lots of killings that had transpired within Benue State. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, my name is James.
All right, James. Location, please.
I'm calling from North Local.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Please, I don't the way the last caller is spreading his voice. I didn't like it.
Oh, he's spreading his voice.
Yeah, the way he's complaining because we are Christians and Muslims. We are the one that robbed this country. We are here. It's just like a child who went to a supermarket to go and steal, and the camera saw him. People saw that child. For we to come out and say the truth, we are talking about Bible. We are talking about Quran. What are we talking about? Is that very annoying for him to be making that comment? In that time, I know that it's between Christians and Muslims that robbed us in this election. And now he's telling us we should leave things. He's referring to Bible. I don't like when we are seeing things, we are living Bible. We the Christians, we feel like we should leave it to God. We should leave it how? I'm not happy the way he's talking, please.
All right. So, again, it's important for us to take note that people can express themselves how they want to express themselves. But when you call in, you can actually say what you think about the conversation we're having. However, thank you for calling in. All right. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Name and location, please.
Yeah, my name is Chris. I'm calling from Elmo.
Your name is?
Chris.
Chris, all right. Location?
Okay, yeah. So the thing is, I'm not a lawyer, so I wanted to get something straight because I heard the court threw out some cases and also fined some people for bringing a case.
They fined some people 70 million naira because they were challenging Tinubu's age, his citizenship, and fined the petitioners.
Okay. For somebody like me who is not a lawyer, who knows nothing about the law, but I've always heard that when you have any issue that you feel you are uncomfortable with, or you feel oppressed in any way, the only place to go to is the court.
Yes.
Now, if we are now in a situation in this country where the court will now fine you for coming to air your grievances, can we actually tell where this country is heading to? Is this country actually in the right position? Like, is it on the right path to actually become something in the future? If somebody can go to court and then the court not just throwing the case away, then you find them. Because I believe anybody can go to court. People go to court in America for their neighbor crossing their fence, for somebody hitting their chicken, for somebody looking at them anyhow. People go to court for stalking. Then you are talking about an election matter, something that has to do with the future of the country. You are finding people. So take me, for example, if I should go to court for probably a minor accident or an issue I'm having with somebody who is probably bigger than me or have more connection than me, I could get jailed for going to court against some people. This is actually what this country is saying. So I just wanted to get it straight if that is actually what is happening, because it's bugging my head. I can't even believe that this is going on in this country right now. It's fine to throw the case away. It's okay to say, okay, we are not going to listen. But finding people now, like, seriously, I don't know, but I don't know if we still have a country. I'm fine with whoever wants to become president. But this one now, no, I don't know. I really don't know. So that's just my opinion.
All right, thank you. Thank you for your calling in. But based on what the justice, the head of that particular petition tribunal, said that they will not tolerate cases that they or petitions that they consider to be frivolous. So your petition needs to have substance. There needs to be something that when the judges listen to it, they can actually consider it to continue. That's what they're saying. But let me take some messages too. This is from Ademola. Ademola from Surulere says, I'm disappointed at us for all of the derogatory comments against the president-elect Tinubu. He will eventually be sworn in and treated as a president for the next 4 years internationally, but will be the ones called citizens of a drug-done country. We can do better. God bless Nigerians. Okay, Ademola, that was okay. Esther, those asking or demanding for the cancellation of the inauguration should know it is not possible by court or by protest. It's a constitutional issue. Peter Obi would have enjoyed the protection of the Constitution if he happened to be the one that would have been sworn in on Monday. So what we should do as people is to continue to demand for changes in our Constitution that gives room to situations like this. Swearing in of the president-elect on Monday while the matter continues in court is constitutional. People should calm down. Adegboyega Adedeji. All right. Thank you, Adegboyega, for that message. Now, okay, you didn't put your name here. Let's forgive one another and move on. Only God knows who will perform. We don't. The incoming president might have learned his lessons while the oppositions are still concentrating on it. All the politicians have their flaws. Obi or Tinubu, let's pray that God should breathe upon them to perform our expectations. All right. Good evening, Esther. The PDP's pre-election petition against Shetima's double nomination began since last year, July 2022, from the Federal High Court. And thank God that same double nomination petition is part of the post-election case filed by the PDP in the Election Tribunal. So hope is not totally lost because PDP will have a local standing this time around since they participated in the election. Let us keep the hope alive. Perhaps justice will be served, free and fair election and good judgment will go a long way in shaping our country for better. Yinka from Ifako Ichaye. Very good one. Evening, Esther. They say judiciary is the hope of the common man, but it seems Nigerian judiciary is for the rich, by the rich and for the rich. Imagine giving a common man that stole life imprisonment or death by hanging, but the rich and elite that stole billions or kill, they use plea bargain or freed on technical grounds and 3 years imprisonment. Look at Bashina's case, even this Tinubu case. It shows judiciary has been compromised using all forms of legal magic to turn things upside down because of the APs. Okay, so here is the thing. I had an interview with Barrister Liberos Oshoma earlier when this declaration came from the Supreme Court. Somebody just, clarified the fact that this particular case has been on since last year. All right. And within the election tribunal, the case has not, the judge has not given any, would I call it, decision yet. The PDP is still filing this at the election petition tribunal. This particular case that the Supreme Court talked about today was something that was filed since last year, and the Supreme Court has given its judgment. However, the PDP still filed this case at the election petition tribunal. It was part of the petition they filed. So like the person who sent a message said that hope is not lost for a couple of people who are not satisfied with, the declaration from today. But here is the thing that we also have to understand. Barrister Liberos Oshoma earlier today said that some lawyers misadvise their clients and do not file their cases properly. Sometimes the way they go about it, when it gets to the court, it may not even be in tandem with what they're fighting against. So sometimes the technicalities work against them. It could be through the process through which they filed their cases. And according to Barrister Liberos Oshoma, when the lawyers just want to give you hope or possibly collect money from you, they may not file things properly. And then when the Supreme Court gives statements, gives a judgment that pleases the people, everyone is happy that the Supreme Court has done what it's supposed to do or that the court has actually worked well. But when the court does not do something that favor them, they blame them. It's quite understandable with what some decisions that were taken in court last year. The Imo State win by, what's his name? Hope Uzodinma. That was one that a lot of people did not like and could not contend with. It made a lot of persons disappointed in the judiciary. Also, the Machina and Lawan case, that was also another one that made a lot of people question what exactly is going on with the way some judicial statements or proceedings or judgments are being passed on. But Justice Amani has promised at the Election Petition Tribunal that things will be done differently and not the usual way that, we're used to seeing them do. So, again, like the last writer said on WhatsApp, let's keep the hope alive. Now, on the issue, Esther, at least almost everybody believes that both Senate and Rep representative elections was transmitted. Please help ask those people that said Obi was rigged out, that he scored highest vote. Why is the Labour Party candidate still in the third position in terms of numbers of members in the two house, that is the Senate and the House of Assembly and the House of Representatives? Or is it the senatorial and House of Representatives also rigged? Okay. On the issue of autumn, he himself was a failure too, because he did not do anything in his state. The same governor that cannot pay salary for the state workers and also wants to collect pension after leaving office. Please, you don't write your name. Always write your name. Always write your name. Wow, this is lengthy. Okay, imagine after 8 years of ruling, there's nothing to show for no achievement. Imagine a country with over 40 mineral resources. When I see Saudi Arabia and Qatar progressing, I wonder whether that the same oil we sell. Because the way I see it, I don't think Nigerians are selling crude oil. What they sell is groundnut oil. Guinness Book, please give him another award as the most Boro president in the world. Prince from Ilasa. All right. Good evening, Esther. See, you just feel that Nigerians should just move on. God will have mercy on this country. You didn't tell me what your name is. Okwekande from Ijegun. We Nigerians have no choice than to accept the president-elect as our president. Insurance of most of your callers saying Nigerians never voted for Tinubu. What an insult. Is he saying all Nigerians voted Peter Obi alone? Majority of Nigerians voted Tinubu. That was why he had 2 million votes ahead of Atiku. If Obi supporters try what they tried against Buhari as Jibrin from Sudan, we will give it to them back to back. Tinubu is more quality. Can they mention one leader in their region that has pedigree like Tinubu? Most of your callers have condemned the killing in Imo State. Okay? Have most of your callers condemned the killings in Imo State? All right. Thank you for your message. Okay. New administration should give us certificate of survival for 8 years of Buhari ruling. And this is Ekele from Agege. Okay. The judiciary doesn't care about substance of a case as claimed. The case of Hope Uzodinma, Akmabio, Ahmed Lawan are typical examples that technicalities. All that matters when a case has substance. Remy from Akoka. Thank you, Remy, for your participation on the program this evening. Good evening. No need going to court again in Nigeria. Tinubu has... Okay, I'm not going to read this. Thank you. Michael from Bagada says... Okay, Michael, thank you. You were the one who sent the message earlier. Thank you so much, Michael, for your message. Now it's time for me to take some of your comments on YouTube. And Michael says, Nigerians always with God, always the same. That's Michael Atim. And of course, Blessed said, if any of my family members vote again, I will personally disown them. Please don't disown them. All right, let them vote. It's their right to vote. It is their constitutional right to vote. If you do not vote, you wouldn't get your desired candidate. All right, no matter what transpired, just make sure that you try. Hope is still alive. So long as you're alive, hope is still on. So do not disenfranchise yourself or your family members. When the election comes up next, try and vote. You can never tell. 0700 903 903 903. That is the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. And the WhatsApp number is 0700 903 9039. 0700 903 9039. Hello, good evening. Hello. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Name and location, please.
My name is Shadrach.
Israel. Location.
Shadrach.
Eh?
Shadrach.
Shadrach. All right. What's your location, please, Shadrach?
I'm calling from Kogi State.
Kogi State. Wow, Shadrach. How is Kogi? You're watching us on YouTube then?
Yeah.
All right, please go ahead.
I called you the last time. That was when I asked you even cut off the thing because the question that I asked you, you are replying me to have to cut off the thing because I'm very, very angry.
I was replying you?
Yes, that was the day before yesterday.
Okay, please go ahead.
Anyway, let me just go straight to the point. See, let me tell you something about this country. Look at this country that we are. Nobody knows tomorrow. Maybe the president that they want to swear in maybe a favor to the country. I don't know. To me, I don't know. But the only thing in this country is that, like, if you observe the court, because I told you once a word on that was on the day before yesterday that why did you believe? Why will you believe in courts? Courts that betray us when there was a cashless point or politics or whatever for over 2 or 3 months. Going to 3 months, there are no money in this country, and we are suffering. They don't have anything to say. Then we will now believe them, swear somebody in. Now, the court will now judge, you will now remove the person. That will not cause war. Huh?
I'm listening, go ahead.
You will cause war. If anybody that they swear in now, I'm very sure he's going to be the president of Nigeria. That is it. But we pray that maybe he may be a good person. Because when I was in Lagos, I discovered because I was in the Modular Road, where he built house. I know his house. Ashwaji Tinubu, Azibola Tinubu. I know his house very well. He was a good man to some people, and he was also a bad man to some people. That is what caused this thing. If not so, nobody will talk about him or whatever. This will not go like this because even I was in Lagos, I suffer a lot because of the man.
Really?
So I have to relocate. Yes.
What were you?
Talk good about him. Nobody talk good about that man. Even in Lagos, nobody talk good. That is the problem that man has. If another person, nobody, they don't even come on mind. But those that is not a good man, I say this, is not a good person. That is the problem. So they will not swear in now. After the court, they will not say that they should remove him. That is going to be war now. And you know him very well. So that word that man used, this person in what is it, Washington State or whatever, used.
The Oyo Labour Party.
Yes, it's not a bad word because he knows that if definitely then announce Peter Obi that he is going to be a trouble in this country.
Wait. Are you saying the person you're saying that is not a good man? Who is it? The president-elect you're talking of, or Peter Obi?
That is what I'm saying. If definitely they say Peter Obi is the winner, there's going to be war. Even my people in Lagos, they will not be free. But you know the election day now. Are you not here in the election day in Lagos State? Do you know how they messed the people up there? They are watching it now. And all of them, there is boys. So, what are you saying? Are we new in this country? So that you forget that one. Anybody that's swearing, but maybe God will change you. That is the prayer now. Because this one now, woto. The last one like 8 years, but this 4 years now woto. Thank God I don't leave my village. I don't go laugh. Food day.
All right.
Well done.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you, all right. So I have a comment here from Surplus Link. After wasting 2 months to start the election tribunal case, I know that tension have dropped and Nigerians will never do anything serious again. We did not believe in ourselves. UK route finally. Wow. Okay. Hello, good evening. Oh, 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. The WhatsApp number is 0700 903 9039. That's the WhatsApp number. Okay, so let me take this call. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Name and location, please.
How are you doing?
I'm doing okay, thank you.
Okay, is that a voice?
Yes, this is Voice of the People, 90.3 FM.
Okay, so I just wanted to contribute to, I
You did not tell me your name. Your name and location, please.
Okay, my name is Frank. I'm calling from Belgium, actually.
Is it Frank Conero?
No, just Frank. I'm calling from Brussels, Belgium.
All right, go ahead, Frank.
Okay, thank you. So I was just actually, this is the first time I was tuning into your program, and I listened to a gentleman who was talking, and I was just, the problem with our country, my sister, is that there's just too much hatred and bitterness for no reason. You understand me? No country in the world can grow with the amount of hate that Nigerians spew all over the place. no nation around. In fact, you can have the best. In the Western world where we live here is largely grown and developed by the attitude of the people themselves. I could use an example of Belgium where I live here. There was a time for 2 years, because there are two different people that constitute the country here, Belgium, the Flemish and the French. They hardly agree. So there was a time that there was a logjam in parliament. So they couldn't elect a prime minister to run the country. So the country was without leadership for 2 years. And my sister, you would hardly miss anything. Everything was working. The system was running because everybody know their role. The citizens, they know what is expected of one another. But Nigerians, we expect so much from leadership. We hardly talk about followership, citizenship, because there are responsibilities, that are expected of even citizens in every society to make the society good.
Well, okay, let me ask you something, Frank. When you say that the citizenship responsibility is kind of nonchalant, it's not as participatory as it ought to be, don't you think that the required enabling environment encourages citizenship responsibility or participation? Hello?
Yeah, yes, I'm with you.
Okay, so go ahead.
Yeah, you see, the truth of the matter is that we need to tune it down a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, we Nigerians, we are too, the desperation is too much. The pressure on our leaders is too much. We are a fledgling country. We are barely 50 years old as a country, right? And Nigerians will see it and begin to compare themselves with the United States, the UK, and some of those developed countries that have been in existence for years. Most of these countries, they went through difficult times, in some, during the period of their lives.
Frank, Frank, you're not. I know that I'm not interviewing you here. So here is the situation. There was something that recently took place that surprised or wowed a lot of Nigerians, where a young woman decided to break a world record, and you could see the massive support. Now, the thing is, Nigerians have a sense of discretion to know when something is sincere and real. That's the truth. And when something is sincere and real, they follow through with it. I asked you a question. Citizen participation and responsibility is good, agreed. But like I asked you, when those who represent Nigerians are the areas they're meant to be represented are not necessarily representing the people or showing a body language that they care about the people they govern, do you think the people would want to participate and show that sense of responsibility? Don't you think they would detach or run away?
The truth of the matter is that countries have leaders, okay? And at every point in time, leadership is a collective, especially in a democracy. It's a responsibility of everybody, whether you are elected or not.
Okay.
So in Nigeria, we see leadership as just the responsibility of those that are elected. That's where we're getting it wrong. Everybody, from the household, from the parent to the school, the teachers in the school, the lecturers in the university, the churches, everybody is a leader in a democracy. So the truth of the matter is that even those who we deride so much, those leaders, are they not Nigerians? They are not from the moon. They are from amongst us. So they cannot mirror the society. They cannot mirror the people. Okay? So even those of us who criticize those leaders today, if we have opportunities to be elected into positions of authorities tomorrow, we might not fare better. Because we also from, the bulk of, because the recruitment is from amongst the people. So when you have maybe, for instance, 20, 30 people in a room, and you have maybe out of the 30 people, you have about 20, 25, the majority that are so bad, if you want to choose leaders from amongst those, you are certainly going to choose one of those bad eggs. And are you going to start complaining when you know almost everybody in the room is bad?
All right.
So my point is that there's a gentleman who was just condemning Tinubu, that is a bad man, is a bad this, is a bad that. For God's sake, this is so bad.
No, he said that Tinubu is good to some people, and there are some people that would say he has done good to, which will support, and there's some people who would say that if Tinubu wants to deal with, he will deal with them. But literally, he was just saying precisely that indeed the statement that if Peter Obi actually wins, that possibly there would have been sort of chaos, that it is not out of reach for that kind of statement to be made.
Yes, the point is that Obi won. If anybody had won, this is not the first elections in Nigeria. If Obi won, apparently there is no way there will be chaos anywhere. Right? Obi won over 6 million votes, for crying out loud, for the first time in the history of Nigeria. We haven't seen anything like somebody joining a party in less than 6 months to a general election. That was a feat. Okay, that was a huge feat. And for anybody to say that if Obi had won the election, there will be war, there will be problem, that's possibly not true. Right? The problem we're having today is that there is too much ethnicity. Obi was actually a profiteur. He just took advantage of the frustration of the youths, right? The youths needed a new direction for the country, and Obi was just readily available, and he cashed in.
So it could have been anybody.
On the emotions of these youths. So the truth of the matter is that my point is, let me not take a whole bunch of your time. Let me summarize. We Nigerians, we should just try to love our country a bit. We should just try to pray. Nations are not built overnight. It's going to the people who built America, they never lived to enjoy the goodies, right? But they built that nation, they sacrificed for today.
Okay.
And people are enjoying today. So we should be a bit more sacrificial, Nigerians. So that we can have a better country. Love one another rather than hating on each other and all of that, my sister.
All right,
Thanks a lot. I enjoy your program.
All right, thank you. Thank you. All right. Hello, good evening.
Hello, Esther.
Hey, good evening.
Yeah, this is Remy calling back.
Remy, you're supposed to let all our people call now. Please, I'm giving you only 1 minute.
Yeah. I beg to differ with the last caller. With a lot of things he said. The Belgium where he lives, during the elections, were there times whereby people were chased not to vote? Because he's talking about followership. Everything rises and falls on leadership. You cannot have leaders that are flouting the rules of law, and you think the followers will follow suit. Even the region where he lives, if the people over there were sent down the CCTV across all the streets, monitoring people, for you to know that people can misbehave any part of the world when there is no good leadership. People will misbehave. It is the law of nature. People will corrupt the system once there is no regulation. It is innate in man to be corrupt when there is nobody regulating the system.
Thank you.
And on the last note, you mentioned of making advantage of.
I need to take other calls.
I think that is false.
Okay.
Shore was there. Why can't Shore get that? He end this trust. He end it with his record. Anybody could have get that advantage if they had the record.
All right. Thank you, Remy.
We made something out of it.
Thank you, Remy. Hello. Good evening. Hello. Hello. Good evening. Hello. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, Esther. I'm Chris. I'm calling from Magun.
Chris, please go ahead.
Yes. So to the brother that called in from Belgium, I wonder why he's not in Nigeria. I don't know what he's doing in Belgium. If he would be, if we like to exercise for patience for Nigeria to develop to the level that he wants Nigeria to be, why is he not in Nigeria? What is he doing in Belgium? He just said that for 2 years there was no leadership in Belgium, and things were running normally because there was a system in place. Is there a system in place in Nigeria that can afford this country to move in 2 years without a leader? People put system in place for the place to develop, for everything to run very well. That's why things are running very well there. It's not the same thing in Nigeria. In fact, what we have in Nigeria today is not democracy at all. It's just people taking advantage. I mean, for every, it's the amount of money you are able to spend, and the amount of money you are able to buy with the money that you have. Look at Tinubu. You know the humongous amount of money that guy spent, even during the primaries, and then also the election. And you think he will get there? He will not be able to get. He will realize his money first before he starts thinking about any other Nigerian. This is my fear, my sister. I believe that Nigeria is going to be in a deep mess because this man has spent so much money. You first of all recover his money.
All right.
Before he became. Yes, I feel very strong souls like that. I mean, he went outside Nigeria and came back again and said he was going to get investors. He's already pursuing his personal ambition to get more money for himself.
All right.
The money that he spent on the election.
Thank you.
That's the truth.
Thank you. Thank you for
I'm
your
not
call.
expecting anything from the Incumbent government at all. Because they're all selfish and they are there for their selfish reasons.
Okay. Thank you. Good evening. Hello. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. Name and location, please.
Ugo calling from UK.
All right, Ugo, please go ahead. Just can you maybe a minute?
Sometimes we are not transparent, and we have choose not to be sincere.
All right.
Yeah, the young man that called from Belgium is missing it all. You know, people say that the experience is the best teacher.
Mm-hmm.
When there is a laid down plan already, let's say in a discovery, people, how do I put it? People comment from where others stops. You don't start to do experiment all over and all over and all over again. Am I?
Yes, you're
now,
communicating.
America and other nations.
Hello? Hello? 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. Hello, good evening. Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Kindly turn down the audio of your radio.
Okay, sorry.
Hello, good evening. Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. Name and
Good
location,
evening.
please.
Yeah, my name is Okenwa from Alaska.
All right, please go ahead.
Yeah, I think the election have come now and it's gone. Everybody now knows his position. Now, those politicians now, because they are the ones that divide Nigeria by themselves, what are they going to do now to bring Nigeria back? I ask this question sometimes because before this election, what we are hearing is one Nigeria, one Nigeria. Few weeks and few months to that election, we discover that some people are not from Nigeria and some people, they don't have rights to vote in this country. Now, the same my street guy that we are living together telling me that I should not come outside and vote. Now, those politicians now, they have already got their position finished. What are they going to do to heal the wound they have created between the people in the streets? What are they going to do? I want you to help me ask them this question, please. It's very important.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. So let me quickly read some messages here. Good evening, Esther. I want to ask a question. Good evening, Nee from Pleasure Base. On the Supreme Court today, my advice to Nigeria is let's move on and have hope that our tomorrow is going to be better than today. Also, evening, Esther, I want to ask a question. Can the president-elect and the Lagos State governor say he won the election? Will he say it is free and fair? Can he do elections without vote buying and intimidation? Can he govern disgruntled people, divided people? All right, these and more. It's so long. Well, thank you very much. Kashim Shettima, via a press conference recently, said that they were going to run an all-inclusive government. Tinubu too, while he was being conferred with the order of the Niger, made the same statement that he was going to run an all-inclusive government, which starts with bridging the divide and bringing all together. Even most of the opposition political party principals have been invited to attend the inauguration on May 29. So let's just say that will be a beginning. Good evening, Esther. For the Labour Party man from Ibadan who was abusing Obi, in my opinion, the man could be a fifth columnist. So many of them are scattered across parties, Labour Party inclusive, to act as internal enemies. And to the election tribunal, are the lawyers fighting this case exercising in futility? In your opinion, or whoever's opinion, does it mean carrying on with this case is worthless? Then if it's so, I'm sorry. Yinka from Ifako. All right. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Good evening. This is Ugo still speaking.
Ugo. All right. Go ahead,
from
Ugo.
UK.
All right, Ugo, yeah.
You see, well, there is always a lay down that people can build upon. How can Nigeria waste 300 and something billion Nigerian naira for election, and at the end of the day, with the machine and every other thing on the ground, somebody cannot allow us to queue in like other African countries, not Western world, and they do common voting. And somebody is coming to tell you that 1 million error we later turn to the right thing because it's in Belgium. I don't understand. See, I might not be as educated as they are, but I am not as blind and as deaf as they are where they see what is right. You understand? Nigeria cannot be talking about United States of America that have been over 300 or 200 years in democracy while everything is in place. You remember there was a time that the richest man in Nigeria maybe might have only one car, and others, if you have a bicycle, you are counted among the rich in your society. Why are we using cars today? Why won't we remain using bicycles? Look at the technology that is in place, from handset to every level of anything you can think about in terms of technology. And somebody is telling you in the 21st century that we should be patient after wasting 300 and which business do you want to establish that with that money that you cannot survive? Will somebody want to establish with the money that Nigeria invested in election that will not survive? You didn't see what happened in Lagos. In Belgium, where are they killing people like fowl for no reason? Are people dying like flies? Because he can speak a fine-tuned English. That is why he comes to the public and he's saying with time. Which time are they talking about? For God's sake, this is 21st century. If somebody is talking, let them speak from the how do I put it? From the right angle of case.
Ugo, he's giving his own expressions of what he thinks. So
no, his own expression, because he was countering the young man that spoke before him. Why, if you want to do, the only way you can get things right is doing the right thing. Why will they stop people, keep people because of election, and they do all manner of it? And he's telling us that in the next 20 million years that we'll get it right. Why people? Do you know those days that if you're a secondary school certificate owner in Nigeria, you are a very high profile person, and today with master degree, you are still coming to UK to do another master in order to earn a living. Soon as they will close the border, let me see what will happen. We are clowns. We are laughing at ourselves.
All right. Thank you for calling, Ugo. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So I'm going to take one final call because the program needs to wrap up now. And then, of course, we'll call it a day. Hopefully, we'll meet again here on Monday. Hello. Good evening. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Okay. I want this Bishop Ago from Ocean Solo.
All right, Bishop Ago.
Yes. It's a pity that my call are not. What I want to, they should do the needful. Failure to declare the winner of the election February 25th. They will be like Judas Iscariot.
Really?
Who betrayed Jesus Christ. He took money, but he couldn't eat the money. For him to eat the money, he couldn't eat it. For him to live, he couldn't live.
Okay.
If they fail to do the needful, they can't cover the scar. Unless the wind does not reach to their head. The Lord of heaven is a God of vengeance. If they fail to do the needful, consign these very masses. The Bible says the kingdom of God suffers violence, and violence must take it by force. If somebody begins to say that let there be no protest, how don't you know that the nation is boiling? The youth are boiling. How can you handle the youth, the future of tomorrow? Okay. And you deny them, you deprive their rights. Let them do the needful. Mark this in today. There will be, the judiciary will be like the Judah Iscariot. They can't eat the money they collected from Tinubu.
Well, you can't be so sure that they collected any money. Like I said, when we call in here, let's make statements that are factual and not speculations. All right, it's important. It's important for us to say that out there. No speculation, no generalization. If you're saying what you're saying and you don't have any facts to back it, please don't. We bring up these topics for you to give us your opinion, but not for you to make allegations that are not based on facts.
It's something that's clear. It was a clear
All
issue.
right. Thank you very much for your calling this evening. Of course, it's time for me to wrap up the evening rush. For all of you who called, thank you. For some of you whose calls I couldn't pick, I do apologize. It's quite a lot. We will continue. Hopefully by Monday we'll get good news. Hopefully by Monday things will be better. Things will be calm. Hopefully. It's always important to be hopeful all the time. My name is Esther Nwachukwu, and of course, it's been a pleasure being with you this week. We'll continue again next week, and of course, then you will have Precious back with you on the evening rush. You can follow me on social media at Esther Nwaz on Instagram. That is ESTANWAZ in Esther Nwaz. On of course Twitter, it's Esther Nwachukwu at Esther Nwachukwu. On Facebook, it's Esther Nwachukwu, and of course at VOP 90.3 FM on YouTube, across all social media platforms as well. And our sister station is at VOP TV. That is Voice of the People TV at VOP TV Live. Good evening and have yourself